What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down Russell Wilson's throwing mechanics. Guys, I think he has one of the best deep balls in a pretty unique motion, so we're going to talk about what makes him a unique passer and some things that I think he could improve on this last throw here, okay? And also, guys, if you're a quarterback and you want to improve your football IQ, you want to get better at reading coverages, understanding defense, because that's the most important part of this position, right? The mechanics, everything's great, but if I can't apply it in a game situation, I'm not going to be able to play. So check out that link in the description, see what I'm offering on my website. Let's get started. So I think it's only right to start off with this deep ball. This is the most recent throw from the Pro Bowl here. So let's watch it full speed, but we're going to talk about his shoulder arc, his follow through, and how his hips rotate him up and over the throw. This is how you're going to get a better deep ball. So you see how much air he gets on this ball. That thing's got a lot of hang time and obviously a pretty accurate throw, but we're going to talk about how it gets so much hang time and why we have to throw like that. So you see when he's about to make this throw, the lower body, I know we can't really see it that well, but the lower body stays the same. You're not going to pop your butt up. Your butt's going to stay the exact same level. If he was trying to throw to one of these targets right here, his lower half would be the exact same. His shoulders would just be level, right? So when we're throwing a deep ball, I want to get my shoulders on this 45-degree angle, and then you see where he's at right now. Opposite equal, right? So this arm's in this L, this back arm's in this L, right? That's how you want to be with that upper half. You want to keep your front shoulder closed as you get your front foot down because that's what's going to shoot your hips through, right? So now, when he's at this 45-degree angle, it's important that he rotates up and over, but also that he leaves his follow-through up in the air like he's shooting a free throw, because if he leaves this follow-through, this is what I see a lot of people do. They try to follow through normally, right? They arc their shoulders, but the arm still comes out to the left or to the right, because they're not flicking that wrist up in the air like they're shooting free throws, and they end up pushing the ball, almost shot putting this ball, right? If I could get at this angle and then be able to rotate my hips up and over like you see here, how his back hip is coming up, and you still keep this front arm tight, you're not letting this front arm swing outside your frame. Here's the reason for that. If I let this swing outside my frame, and let's say it comes down, the ball is going to come out a little funky because my shoulders are going to be completely dipped, right? Like this left is going to be dipped and this right's going to be too high, to try to break it down in simpler terms for you guys, right? But because we keep this tight, it allows us to rotate right through, and wherever I lead this follow through, that's where the ball's going to go. But the second I start to swing outside my frame here, if I swing laterally, the ball's going to come outside my frame, right? Your body is divided by this midline, right? You guys have probably heard that term. So whatever this left side of your body does, the right side's going to do something kind of opposite equal, right? So if I swing out this way, my right arm's going to swing out this way because it's only natural, right? So that's why we want to keep that front arm tight. And now you see how his back hip, because his front hip's in the ground and I arc my shoulder, my back hip is starting to rotate up and over. It's not rotating around, it's rotating up and around, okay? And now you see where he leaves this follow through, right? Up in the air, just like he's shooting free throws, just like he'd be shooting a basketball, because when you get shoulder arc and then you can flick your wrist at the top of the throw, that's when you're going to get air on this ball. And you see on the finish too, this is what a lot of people don't do. They don't finish with the back of their shoulder on the target. They'll finish square with their chest at the target. We want to finish with the back of my shoulder on this target and let this thing drop right in the bucket. That's a great job by Russell Wilson. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So again, arc the shoulders, rotate up and over, flick that wrist at the top. Okay, so now he's going to be working this 3 and a hitch. We're going to talk about his hitch today and how short quarterbacks don't need to pop up. Okay, so let's watch this. See how he's hitching? He keeps his base the entire time and rotates through on this throw. So now, short quarterbacks, the common thing that I hear a lot of people do, and I've seen people teach this, is to be super narrow right here and stand up as tall as we can, right? Now, the problem with that is I'm not producing ground force. I won't be able to produce ground force off of this back leg because my base is straight up and down and I'm trying to stand too tall because I'm trying to see over everything. Russell Wilson plays in the pocket differently. Same with Kyler Murray, same with Drew Brees, same with any short quarterback. They play in the pocket differently. They're looking through windows in the offensive line right here. They're not trying to look over anybody because they know it's helpless. I'm not going to be able to see anybody anyways. And if I do, I'm going to lose this bend in my knee and I'm going to be straight up and down and I'm not going to have any ground force, right? So what he understands is I just got to keep this base because that's where all my power comes from. Now, when he takes a 3-step drop and a hitch, a lot of quarterbacks, what they'll do is they'll hitch one leg at a time and they'll get real narrow, right? I want you to see how he moves both feet at the exact same time on the hitch. Right now, why is that so important? Because when we move both feet at the exact same time, you see how he's in this wide base right here? Feet just outside his shoulders. Now, when we hitch up and I move both feet at the same time, I'm still in this base. I'm still in this perfect base. My base still stays wide. And why is that important? So I can get my front foot down fast. And that's exactly what happens. He hitches up. He doesn't hitch up either. I know I'm saying hitch up. He hitches out because that's where all the energy in my body's going to go. I never want to hitch up and pop my butt up and lose my power in my legs. I want to be here and I want to hitch this way. I want to hitch out towards the target because that's going to help me produce energy off this back leg straight at the target and be able to rotate. But the second I pop up is the second I lose ground force. So again, but don't get me wrong, quarterbacks. When I'm saying keep a good base and sit your butt down, have a slight bend in your knee, don't think I mean dip your posture down. I want to have a vertical posture from my waist up, okay, because that's going to help you rotate through and it'll help keep your elbow up. So again, he hitches up. Now, the throw starts from back here. You see how he's not just opening up this front foot. The throw starts from the back leg. I see this mistake a lot. Nobody pushes first. We got to push first and almost force that front leg to come down. We're pushing off the back leg. That forces the front leg to come down. And you can see front leg in the ground, his front shoulder's closed. Now let's rotate my hip through the throw. And now he's rotating his hip, and that's what brings him to that 90-degree angle, quarterbacks. You see how he's already got this foot in the ground, and he's getting to 90. I see too many people lift right to 90 and this front foot isn't in the ground yet because their hips aren't bringing them through, and then they have this ball dip behind them in their motion. I want to be able to push, get my front foot down while I'm in that L or somewhere about that angle, and then you see his hip rotation, bringing these hips through, hip coming through the ball, hip coming through the throw first, ball's chasing the hip. That's what gives me nice rotation on this. And look at his left arm. He doesn't swing that left arm outside of his frame. He keeps it nice and tight, and what does he do? Finishes with the back shoulder on the target. That's a very mechanically sound throw. 3-step drop and a hitch, keeping a wide base the entire time. And how we work that hitch, guys, is just going to come from reps. I see too many people just going here, and they get super narrow. That's the thing I want to stress about this. I want to keep both feet active at the exact same time in the pocket, very relaxed on my upper half, good posture, but keep a bend to my knees. Let's watch this full speed one more time. So again, 1, 2, 3, hitch both feet at the same time, drive off the back leg, get the arm down. Okay, so now this is a throw that he missed here, and we're going to talk about why quarterbacks sometimes miss and do not have a lot of pop when they step up in the pocket. So let's watch it full speed. So again, he's climbing up in the pocket, and you see this ball kind of dies on him, right? We have an open receiver, and we want to try to get to him. I'm sorry about that. So you see here also I want to talk about, he doesn't throw it on this one, but you see how narrow his base is, right? So we're going to talk about it. You saw in that last clip how quick his front stride was. Now look in this clip, because his feet are underneath his shoulders. Look at that stride length. You see how long it takes to get down, right? It's here, and it takes a long time to get down, and that elongates the release. Yes, he ended up pulling this thing back, but this isn't a power position, right? And I think he'd be the first one to tell you that. So that's what happens when your base gets narrow. That's why we don't want to overstride. That's why we want to move both feet at the same time. Maybe not even this wide, just a little bit less than that, like maybe about here. But that's why when we push and I have a wide base, that front stride is going to be quicker, okay? I hope that makes sense for you guys. Now, reason why the throw died here is because you see on his follow-through how he kind of pops up here. Look at this throw. You see how he's here, and now when he starts to rotate through this thing, he pops his butt up, and he kind of eases up on this throw. He's trying to place it here. Now, I know he's getting pressure, but if he didn't, say he pops up with his hip, this back hip kind of raises up, right? That what that means is he's popping up his butt and he's trying to take something off this throw. He's trying to place it, right? If he was here and he drove and he took this back hip even while he's stepping up in the pocket and focused on actually rotating, right? And obviously you can't think about this during a game, but I think this is something that he would probably go work on in the offseason, stepping up in the pocket, being a little bit off balance, off platform, but actually still driving and rotating on this throw. The ball would have been a little bit better for him, but because he kind of popped his butt up and eased up on the throw here, and his follow-through was he kind of short-armed this thing. When we finish on a throw, guys, we want to extend straight out at the target like I'm almost throwing at a dartboard, and you see that's what caused the ball to die on him, right? I just want a little bit more pop on it. I could rotate through a little bit more with my hip and not kind of pull that follow-through back. Let's watch it full speed one more time. So again, just kind of pops up, kind of tries to short-arm it a little bit. We just got to make sure anytime we step up in the pocket, fellas, we just got to get this ball out of my hands. I got to let it fly. I got to rotate with my hips. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. Please leave in the comments the next quarterback you'd like to see me break down. Every Saturday I do a quarterback breakdown, throwing mechanics, and leave in the comments any questions you guys have. And if you're a quarterback and you got to get better at reading coverages, I think every quarterback can get better at reading coverages, understanding defenses. Check out that link in the description. I'll see you guys next time.